What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you because Myka and James Stauffer are no longer under investigation. And I'm like, wait, what? They're no longer under investigation. That means the investigation is closed, which means Huxley is safe and found, right? No, this investigation is corrupt to say the least. So get ready to pay close attention, grab a snack, and wash it down with some hot tea. Even though this isn't tea because this involves Huxley's life and like we are petrified and nervous, like where is he? What's going on? Myka, you need to speak up and give us some answers. At this point, you guys know who Myka Stauffer is. She has multiple YouTube channels. She is super famous, especially after this whole Huxley situation. Her husband, James, also has his own channel and, you know, sells car detailing things, which we will talk about in a minute. Myka recently got popular because she adopted her son from China and then rehomed him, aka returned him to we don't even know where. And then people were really upset. They were like, wait, I actually helped pay for this child because their subscribers had a fund that they donated money towards so that they can get Huxley, and Huxley was just returned. Keep in mind that Myka was trying to get two little boys at this time. She literally got Huxley, the one she dreamed of having, yet returned him. I mean, how do you go from I love everything about this little boy and wouldn't trade him for anything, and Huxley, you've changed our lives for the better, and now that I know how incredible my life is with you in it, I couldn't imagine a day without you, to this where you have your Twitter bio that says you have 4 children because you just dropped the 5 because I guess Huxley was never really your child in the first place. You had him for a couple years and then you just gave him up. I'm about to get to the new stuff, but I just want to recap that Myka dropped the video with James where they talked about giving up Huxley. Then all these news places started covering the story, everyone started talking about it, and then Myka decided to buy some followers because she was losing so many followers on Instagram, which is like cringe. Like, how do you cope with like being canceled? You just go and buy like fake followers to make it seem like you're not being canceled, because you are. Then she continued trying to remove videos on YouTube and silence YouTubers because she didn't want us talking about it anymore. Honestly, I'm waiting for my cease and desist letter because I feel like that is coming sometime soon. They are trying their best to get everything wiped offline, but when you are involved in a scandal like this, it just doesn't disappear. Huxley, his existence, him as a person, does not just disappear like that. Myka was getting tons and tons of backlash, and then she put out a statement saying that Huxley actually wanted to be rehomed, which the investigation notes pretty much contradicts that. I don't think he ever wanted to be rehomed, but if that makes you feel better at night, Myka, then go ahead and believe that. I mean, maybe she's right, because if my hand was being duct taped for sucking my thumb, maybe I want to be rehomed. Maybe if there was a little hand being stuck onto my duct taped fist as a joke, I would want to be sent home, especially when my sister is literally sucking her thumb and getting, you know, attention for it and getting love for it. I'm over here getting duct taped on my hand. A little kid taken out of his country, China, does not speak the English, thrown into this household. He's not given the proper treatment for his condition, and whenever he acts up, you know, sucks his thumb, he gets a duct taped fist, which this drives me crazy. But let's get into the new stuff, because the fist thing will never ever leave my brain. Like, that's something I'll never forget, and I can never forgive Myka for, no matter what she says. There's no excuse for that. Now for the investigation. You guys all know that Delaware County, Ohio released a whole statement saying they are going to look into the Huxley situation. Honestly, at this point, I was really happy just because I felt like, you know, Huxley might get justice because we've got the police on our side. You know, they're here to protect us, right? I mean, I think you guys have seen in the last few months that the police aren't really here to protect us. It's almost like the people against the police. And this investigation seems very corrupt to me because I don't think that there was due diligence, nor do I think we ever really figured out where Huxley is. I wonder why. Maybe because Ohio has really, really horrible stats when it comes to issues with children. You know, I can't say the A word, I can't even say the N word, so I'm just gonna say issues with children. We need child rights over here because Ohio has a lot of issues with this, and obviously they don't know how to handle cases that involve issues with children or children being mistreated. There's the word, child mistreatment. Child mistreatment. Not okay. Well, it turns out the Delaware County Police Department have finalized and completed their investigation of Myka and James Stauffer on the Huxley situation. They put out this statement, and really? Like, this is what you're gonna give us? after everything that's happened, like she lost athletics, E! News has talked about this. This story has been everywhere, and you're going to say, the investigation has completed. Well, you can go and email the department and get a copy of the whole police report, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the police report and the main takeaways from it. I'm not going to read it all because this thing is very long. I will play it on the side right here, but it's a very long police report, and I'm going to talk about 5 takeaways from this police report that you guys should know. The first one, which is major, is that the Stauffers never finalized Huxley's adoption. So they had him for several years, but never finalized him as their child. They also never finalized it in the way that he never received American citizenship rights. And that makes me think maybe this police investigation wasn't that in depth because this wasn't an American kid. I don't know what type of, like, you know, rights that Huxley has because he's, you know, Chinese and he's not American, but it makes me question whether the police actually did as much as they should have because he's not a US citizen, if you get what I mean. Second takeaway is the threats. I don't know if I can even use the word threat on YouTube, but the Stauffers were receiving multiple threats from people, which makes sense. Usually you get canceled and then you get threats. I mean, I get threats all the time. I literally get threats that are scary, and I still move along and live my life. Well, that's what the Stauffers did. They got tons of threats, but these threats only ever came up when the whole investigation opened. They talked to officers about the threats they were getting, but never really acted on the threats themselves. They never called 911 to get protection from these threats or to report these threats. So it makes me think, were these threats even that credible? Because I feel like if you were really worried about, like, harm, then you probably would have contacted the police before the police contacted you. Try to keep in mind that the report says that the officers offered to come and patrol outside of the house to make sure the family was safe, but Myka declined their offer. So if you were really unsafe, then wouldn't you want to have officers outside? Especially if you are a famous YouTuber, every single inch of your house has been recorded on YouTube, where your children sleep have been recorded on YouTube. People can use that footage and create a whole map of your house, and if they really want to get you, they would. So why wouldn't you protect your family if you could? Maybe because you weren't actually scared, but you were more, you know, trying to seem like the victim in the situation, since you are the oh so loving white mother that adopted the Chinese son. You looked like a hero for a second, but then you couldn't handle it and you just dropped him off God knows where. Okay, I need to move on to point 3 because I'm gonna go on a tangent. This next part of the report is really, really upsetting because honestly, they're trying to make Huxley seem like he's a monster. Like literally make him seem like he's evil whenever I'm like, wait bro, do you even know who you're dealing with? So one of the main reasons why Myka and James gave up Huxley was because Huxley was supposedly hurting his other siblings. Like physically hurting them, and like could not stop hurting them, and would be, you know, fighting them, punching them, throwing toys at them. And to me, this seems like a pretty like standard cop-out. You're just trying to blame the child on his behavior, saying he's going to harm your other siblings. But there is a quote in the investigation where the child literally says, "I'm so happy I don't have to be punched in the head anymore." They also continue saying that James Stauffer is a big guy, yet when it came to Huxley, you know, getting aggressive with his siblings, that he couldn't stop Huxley from, you know, being like physical and harmful towards the other children, which to me is like, wait, so this like little like 3-year-old autistic boy, you couldn't grab him off and put him into timeout? I mean, you guys gave him extensive amount of therapy. Like, I don't understand where the problem was, because this type of behavior isn't that like uncommon, but it's also very like corrected. Even people who like don't have disabilities, like I used to get physical with my like siblings when I was younger. That's just what happens. I think they're just trying to push the excuse. But I don't want to like deny that maybe the kids did get hurt a few times, but also like try to understand where Huxley's coming from. He's taken from his country to this home, and I don't think he was ever treated right from the start, so maybe he was acting up because he was always getting in trouble. I remember seeing footage of Myka talking about how Huxley is very sweet and loving and bonding, and how he actually doesn't even seem to be too autistic. I mean, from my perspective, seeing clips of him, I've seen tons of clips of him, he doesn't seem to be that severe autistic, you know what I mean? Like he seems like he's still very functioning. As you guys know, James and Myka own a company called Stauffer Media, and James is actually technically Huxley's manager. So he manages, you know, what Huxley does with product things. They've done like videos, they've done a lot of promotional things using their child to make money. Well, in this Parade magazine article in September 2019, This is what Myka said about Huxley, and I just want you guys to think, does this sound like a monster or a kid who is hurting their siblings? Myka said Huxley was 2.5 years old and naturally scared and upset with having everything he has known taken away and starting with new people he's never seen before. If you look at it from his shoes, it must have been downright scary. Jaka, one of their children, would sing to him and he instantly fell in love with her. She could make him calm down, stop crying, and she became his best friend and still is till this day. Today, he is 4 and he's just starting to form words and repeat some of the words he hears and has over 15 signs. He is a great kid and his condition doesn't involve that much overall care. All you need is a big heart and practice patience every day. It's a different kind of patience. He does receive 30 hours of applied behavioral analysis and home therapy and goes to a private preschool to help him reach his highest potential. That doesn't sound like a kid who is fighting with their siblings and going to be returned for fighting with their siblings. This sounds like a normal kid that they are starting to love, but also doing, articles about him to make more money and more press and more fame for their family. Like, was this article with Parade actually about Huxley and adopting Huxley and their experience, or was it another opportunity for Myka to get her name out there to increase her brand and just become more and more famous? Seems like the latter. Okay, so next takeaway from the investigation. So there was a well care check, but whenever they did a well care check of the child, what happened was that the Stauffers gave the police an address, right, to go meet Huxley. Well, they gave it to an attorney's office. So the police officers arrive to the attorney's office and they go in to see Huxley. Keep in mind that BuzzFeed reported that the adoption agency has had no role in this whole situation. So they don't know where Huxley is. According to them, he should be with Myka, but right now it turns out he's with a new mother, and that mother was at the attorney's office to meet with the police officers to do a well care check to make sure the child is still, living and breathing and everything, because at this point we didn't know where he was or what happened. I was really worried. I find it odd that the police officers went and willingly met with this new mother, because does she even have legal ownership over Huxley? It's kind of weird that he's with a new mom. And if you think about it, that adoption agency approved the Stauffers to adopt Huxley. So when it comes to this new mom, does she meet the regulations to take care of Huxley? Like, does she have the ability or the financial ability or just the capacity to take care of Huxley? Because looks like Myka can't, and they're very well off. Well, I just found it very odd that the Stauffers provided the attorney's office address as Huxley's new home address for the well care check. Makes me think, where is Huxley? There's rumors that he's in Columbus, Ohio. Bruh, why hasn't the police confirmed that he's all good? Well, they tried to do that by doing a well care check and to check Huxley for any, physical harm, or I can't say the A word. There's so much, so many rules on YouTube. I can't say this word, but they tried to see his body for bruises and things like that. You know what I'm trying to say. Well, during this meeting, the new mother had a scan, is what it says in the investigation file, but I'm assuming a document about Huxley's condition. And by condition, I don't mean his autism. So supposedly he had 2 mosquito bites, and the new mother took Huxley to urgent care to have those checked out. So the police were provided a document saying, yo, here is proof that these 2 marks on Huxley is actually from a mosquito bite. So let's back it up a little bit. Myka used to be a nurse, and I don't know if it was Myka or the new mother who took him to urgent care. It's very confusing because they say in the legal document, adoptive mother provided a scan to prove, that these 2 marks on Huxley was from a mosquito bite. Well, I don't know if this is the new mother or if this is Myka, but why would a child ever need to go to urgent care for a mosquito bite? That doesn't make sense to me at all. And to me, it makes me wonder, why was he actually at urgent care? Or what's really up? Or who's actually taking care of him? Because if my mom took me for a mosquito bite, I'll be going right now. Because I've got one on my leg and I can't even fade. You don't go to urgent care for that. So I thought that was kind of odd. And I thought it was odd that they specifically talked about how they checked Huxley's body for any, bruises or harm. But when they did, they only checked parts that showed. So his arms and his legs or whatever. You don't know what his back looks like. You don't know what his stomach looks like. You don't know what if he's getting spankings all the time. We have no idea, because they did a very light scan of the child, and the 2 mosquito bites were the hot topic. So I thought that whole interaction was very weird. And why? Why was that even the case? Like, shouldn't we have a nurse check out Huxley to make sure he's okay, that he's being well fed, that he has nothing, you know, on his body, or some type of doctor there? Why is the police looking at this little boy and being like, oh, it's okay, while the attorney and the new mother and Myka or whoever is just watching over like a hawk? There's a reason why there are so many children who do not have their rights in Ohio, and by rights I mean, you know, they're hurt, they're mistreated, their parents aren't taking care of them, yet the police and the government don't really do anything about it. That's because Ohio's system sucks. It really does suck, and I don't think that it has provided justice for Huxley. But I am going to tweet out the entire investigation thing, so I will link below the tweet and you guys can read every single page of the investigation and decide for yourselves. In this next video, I want to talk about a clip that is going around of Myka where she pretty much talks about her biggest challenge failure, and she talks about Huxley, and the way she talks about him is just very disappointing. And honestly, this clip aged like milk. Like, it is just so bad, and as you get into it, you can tell by the end of it, she's really just only ever adopting Huxley for herself. It was always about her. It was about what condition the child had that she got, or how great she looked adopting a Chinese son, and how it made her feel as a mother. And to me, this just speaks volumes to her as a parent and to the whole Huxley situation, because I don't think she truly ever did enough research to adopt a child with disabilities from another country.
In your life sets you up for future success?
So I wouldn't call it a failure, but I would call it something that was really, 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 really challenging. We recently adopted a little guy from China. Definitely not a failure. But when we adopted him, he had a totally different diagnosis than what we were told. We were told that he had a brain tumor, and as a cancer nurse, I was comfortable with that moving forward. And he actually had severe brain damage, severe autism, and some severe delays that may mean that he may live with me for the rest of his life, something that we just literally were not ready for. And with that, when we adopted our son and we were going through the process, they told us that, you know, developmentally on par, everything was really good to go. And we were comfortable with all of the information that we had been given. And one of the reasons why I love this challenge, not a failure, but challenge that I experienced, is I'm such a better mom because of it.
I just wanted to note in that clip, I don't want to get into this too much, but in that clip, she talked about how she used to be an ER nurse. Well, she says she quit that position, but she actually was fired for supposedly kicking a pregnant woman. And I'm not going to get into detail because I didn't want to talk about this, but that's the rumor. And I think if you are interested, you should definitely go look it up, because I looked it up one day and I was shook, and I can't believe that she would do something like that on the job. And there's a reason why she was fired. Now let's do a 360 and talk about James, because he has a channel called Stauffer's Garage, and recently he did a giveaway that was not legal. So pretty much he was doing a giveaway where if you went and bought his $14 brushes online, he would put a few $100 bills in some of those packages, and those people would get $100. But in this instance, they're paying to participate in a giveaway, which is against YouTube's rules. You can see right here, number 5, it is against YouTube's rules to do a giveaway that you have to purchase something for. It's also against the lottery laws in Ohio. So he's definitely broken some rules, but the cringe part of it all is that he just announced the winners today. He literally just announced who won the giveaway today online, and it makes me think, wow, our legal system really does fail us, because these couples are getting away with doing so many illegal things. And when I say these, I mean these family channels, but this couple specifically, I mean the dad and the mom are heavily involved in this stuff, and it makes me cringe. Honestly, I'm just shocked that James continued with this giveaway. Even Lily Brushes, the people that make the brushes that he purchased through resale on his website, have said they don't want anything to do with him. So he needs to stop using their products, and he needs to stop breaking rules. If he wants to continue Stauffer's Garage, because, you know, he's been posting on there, there's no issues, he's never done anything wrong. These people need to get off of YouTube ASAP, and YouTube, you need to do a better job at, you know, monitoring your creators, especially people that you promote consistently, because these people suck. Lastly, I want to leave you guys with something kind of funny. So I found these pictures online, and it's pretty much Myka. You can see it says went to China for a son, and all we got was a $670,000 house, Cartier, 2 luxury cars, dream vacations, internet cloud, and enough money to retire from day jobs at the age of 30 years old. canceled. And that's on period. You used Huxley for money. He was always going to be used for money. He was planned for money. You guys made so many videos about how you're going to adopt a child. You create a whole fundraiser about how you're going to adopt a child. You did all these things so you can get Huxley. Then you used Huxley to use him in promotion things, to talk about his life, to exploit his, like, you know, disorder or whatever, his condition. It's just so disgusting to me that you all are still like trying to be on YouTube or be relevant. Like, if you go and look at their TikTok comments, like, they're canceled, and I am so proud of our generation for canceling them, because so many people get away from being canceled, and this couple will be canceled and will always be canceled because what they did to Huxley was not right. Huxley deserves justice. He was taken from his country into this home of YouTubers who used him like a freaking milk cow, and it's so like just horrible. Like, when I see new things come out, I'm just like, bruh, why am I even like talking about these people anymore? They suck. They like forever should be canceled. And my reasoning for making another video is to, one, update you guys, but also to, you know, put another thing out there that Myka Stauffer needs to be off of YouTube. James also needs to be off of YouTube. I don't even think they have the same last name. It's like Myka blah 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 something starts with a B. Well, Myka and James just need to be off of YouTube for good. I am so tired of these like creators who suck and aren't doing good things in the world. I mean, we got Jeffree Star, we got Shane, we got all Liza, and now David Dobrik and all these people, and there are better people in the world. There are good people that have morals and who care about other people, you know, from the bottom of their heart, and they're out there. We just need to give those people the attention because these people are doing us wrong. Finally, I do want to talk about just one quick random thing. So I kind of want to do a giveaway on my channel. I don't know what I want to give away. Like, I have merch, so I could give away some merch. I also could give away a plant. I've always wanted to give away a plant because I totally can like package it up and ship it. So I want to see what you guys think in the comments below. Like, should I do a giveaway? Would you participate? How do I even participate in that? Like, should it be on Instagram? I don't know. But if you guys want to get a follow back on Instagram, share this video on your story. Tell people to watch it. Tell people to understand the story and the severity of it. Share it on your Instagram story. I will follow you back if I don't already. I just want the story to get out there. I want to connect with you guys, and I want to see what else you guys want me to talk about next, because I'm looking into Yaoi, I'm looking into Ace, I'm looking into Brittany and Baby. I'm looking into these channels, so more is coming. I'm working way harder on this channel, and I'm going to show you guys that I truly care about, you know, justice in our world and children's rights and just good morals. Like, why can't we celebrate those people who have done really good things in the world and kind of forget about the others? Because even people like Steve will do it. Like, I would totally cancel Steve will do it. I'm waiting for someone to tell me, like, hey, can you make a video about Steve will do it? And I totally will, because he needs to be canceled beyond demand. And if you guys don't know him, you need to look it up, because corruption is here. Anyways, at this point I'm rambling, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out my other channel, and I'll see you guys on Instagram at SL04N. Bye.